First, I'd like to thank Archie Boris of exoticforeigner.com for the cool concept. Okay, here are my talking points. When I was in college, I dated a Chinese girl, and we had a little fling, and then we broke up. And a couple months later, I ran into a friend of mine on campus, and James said to me, "Hey, how you doing?" Cool. I saw your ex-girlfriend, the guy she's dating right now looks an awful lot like you. End of story. I was in a bar in Southeast Asia, and a bar girl had an opportunity to sample the goods, and I don't know if you've seen that Seinfeld episode where Elaine goes on a date and the guy takes it out. Well, anyway, this bar girl who has seen a lot of its asked if she could take a picture of mine. End of story. Next, had a bar girl again somewhere in Southeast Asia in the Pacific region. After she was able to, after an experience, she said, "Wow, all black guys like you?" I was in Singapore, and when I went to check into a hostel somewhere in Singapore, I noticed I got some, sort of mean looks from the woman, the owner, behind the desk. Later on, a couple days later, we had a chance to talk, and she told me that, here in Singapore, they had a lot of African guys who came in and they were doing or selling drugs or something like that. So she had a bad impression of them, and she actually said, let's see if I can remember, she actually said something like, you have to, she was implying that I had to do a little extra to compensate, or be a little extra in order to compensate for the bad reputation that the African fellows had, or, the bad impression that people in Singapore had of some of the African guys who came there. So, what's my point? My point is that when you are the exotic foreigner in a land, you have a certain responsibility, whether you realize it or not, whether you accept it or not. You have a certain responsibility. Girls, you're going to be setting the bar. You're going to be imprinting yourself on people. And whether for good or for bad, the girl in college, I imprinted myself on her, and she decided to date guys who looked a lot like me. The girl in the bar girl, she had never been with a black guy before, so she wanted to document it on film, and I can imagine that she has an impression now of what being with a black guy is like. The woman in Singapore, the hostel owner, she had a bad impression based on her first experience with the African fellows. So when you are the exotic foreigner, you have an obligation. Again, you don't have to accept it, but people are going to form their opinions of people like you based on people like you. So it's something that you should be aware of. How you choose to respond to it obviously is up to you, but I want people to have a positive experience so that when others who look like me come to visit, that they'll also have a good experience. Anyway, that's just a little rant, a little rambling that I had on my mind that I thought I'd share as a way of practicing my voice here on the masculine mind. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've had experiences of being the exotic foreigner and whether those were good or bad. and I'll check out the comments and we'll get this thing started.